Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, LLC, offers more value than any other good full-service real estate brokerage firm when it comes to the sale of your home. We offer at least 27 things that contribute to your home selling in the least amount of time at the highest price. To receive our free home selling pamphlet, email us at info@brooksanddavis.com or call 713-665-8329. We also assist people who want to purchase homes or who are interested in getting their real estate license. Visit us at www.brooksanddavis.com.
Are you an inspiring entrepreneur? Or maybe you're an entrepreneur looking to take your business to the next level. My name is LarryWBrooks, and I am the author of Empowering Quotes for the Entrepreneur in You and The Entrepreneur Code. In these two books, I guarantee you there's success secrets that will take your business to the next level. I personally invite you to visit LarryWBrooks.com. Go under the books link and purchase your signed personal copy from myself. You have a great day and have an awesome 2020.
Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I urge you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, please visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week. My co-host sitting in with us on episode 143 is a Texas real estate broker, multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, known in all hemispheres of the planet Earth as the Texas real estate king. Showing love as we always do. Give it up for Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's going on, brother?
Hey, listen, Rick, no one knows how to show love the way that you do, my guy.
Hey, man.
You know, with the energy that you bring behind the introduction, man, you just need to be there quite often with your boy, whenever that looks like.
Nah, but see, this the thing, though, man. It's the summertime, the weather's great.
Yeah.
We got positive energy in here with us, man.
Yes,
we on episode 143, man. So,
yeah.
I'm trying to take some time to appreciate every episode.
No doubt about it.
Every opportunity we have to come out here and speak to the audience, speak to the people that follow us. So I want to make sure I thank everyone who subscribes to the Prime Real Estate Network channel. The channel's been growing, and I want to thank everyone for their support.
Yes, indeed.
What's been going on this week, brother,
Continue
man?
to follow and subscribe to the YouTube page, man. We appreciate y'all. Man, how was the coaches event? I got a chance to check it out when we did it live. It looked like a lot of amazing people came back and had a lot of great feedback. Well, how was it personally being in the building?
Hey, man, I want to thank everybody who had a chance to stop by Coach Ferrara's track reunion this past weekend. It was great to see a lot of our old teammates from Eisenhower. It was great to meet some of the new contacts that I've made from Kingwood High School and some of the guys that coached back in Brooklyn, New York, from South Shore High School. So the network and the camaraderie, the sense of family, that's something that you can't always recreate. And then, it was the first time for me being able to actually do an on-site live edition of the Prime Real Estate Network from a special event like that. So that was something that I was proud to be able to do for Coach Ferrara, and I hope everybody enjoyed it, and it's something that they can enjoy now and into the future.
No doubt about it.
It was cool, even though you weren't there. There were people who was expecting you to walk through the door. It was funny. It was like, Larry coming? I was like, nah, Larry's predisposed this evening, man. Y'all going to have to hold it down with just me. But I look forward to doing something like that remotely with both of us, man, at different events, man. So anybody who's out there, man, if you would like to add a Prime Real Estate Network live from your next private event, reach out to Larry or myself, and that's definitely something we can make happen.
Sounds good.
Look, man, this week, I'm really excited because, anytime that we can have a guest come by the Prime Real Estate Network podcast for their second visit or their third visit in this gentleman's case. Right, you know what I mean? It's really, really
cool.
cool.
He's held down this seat right here that I'm
That's
sitting
what I'm saying.
in, in my absence. So
and it's really cool because, when you have guests and co-hosts, come back for multiple appearances. Not only does it show that they support the podcast,
Absolutely.
but it also shows our audience that when we do have guests and we do have partners,
That's right.
those are long-standing relationships.
Facts.
And it's something that we don't just have going for that time when they see them here, but we continue those relationships on after they appear on the show.
Yes, indeed.
So without any further ado, I want to introduce this week's guest. This gentleman is one of the most active, not only social media influencers, but he is also a social activist, entrepreneur, and right now he's going to introduce us to his newest venture, serving as the Chief Operating Officer with NOOMA Honey. Thank you so much for coming and sitting down with us,
Bro,
Mr. Kenny Henry, the King Konnector.
Pleasure, bro. Grateful to be here.
King
and
Konnector.
I think this is my first time, I think, with having the King of
Oh,
real
there
estate
you go.
Actually here in the building.
With the King Konnector.
And he's not on some boat somewhere
there
in the middle
you
of the
go.
ocean.
That is
or doing a
interesting.
business deal, you know what I mean?
No, that is funny, right?
Right? So when I come here, I'm the King Konnector, but when I come over here, I got it because I'm in your palace.
Okay,
So
okay.
so I got about it's the king of real estate right here.
I
that.
appreciate that.
So the kings are in the building.
You
All
can share the king's in the building, no doubt about it. That's right.
Yeah, but
I feel kind of lonely because I ain't got a hat on today.
Right.
But you know what? I'm gonna dig deep in the Rick closet one day and grab me.
Come there, we're going to have it. But Kenny, I want to
Yeah.
make sure that I give you opportunity to talk about
Thank
NOOMA
you.
Honey, because doing my research leading up to this interview,
Yeah.
I was really impressed with not only NOOMA Honey as a corporation, but
Yeah.
all the different things that you guys are working with, creating, and how active
Right.
you are in the community. So
Right.
introduce our audience to NOOMA.
So I have to give one of my dearest friends, best friends, brother. He is from El Salvador. And so it's actually his vision. Everything is his vision. When it came down, it was honey. It didn't start as wine. It started purely as honey. Right. And we met in California and became really, really great friends, and just doing life together. And the type of guy I am, I'm doing life with you, which means I'm doing all of life with you, which means I'm loyal to the core. I'm here to help you with every aspect of your life. And so for me, especially with men, those are the kind of men that I let in my circle, right? I have a lot of friends, I have a lot of contacts, but everyone who knows me deeply know I keep my circle very small, because these are the people that I trust, because we get vulnerable with, we talk about our fears, our challenges, we talk about our dreams, and as you know, you don't just tell your dreams to anyone.
That's right.
Right? And so he's been one of those people that has been such a blessing as a friend, as a relationship. And I remember actually when he came with that idea, and we would do, we do all kind of things. He supports me, and everything I've done, I support him.
Right.
And he came with this, this idea that he was talking about with honey. And I was like, honey? I was like, man, and I love honey. Everyone knows that about me. Honey is in my coffee. Honey is in my tea. Anything I could put honey in or on, I do it, because to stay away from processed sugars, right?
Right.
And the more pure, more organic you can get, the better for me. And so I said, well, bro, of course I love honey, and I know it's a huge market, but what do we know about honey? We don't know anything about honey, right?
Yeah.
And so, and he's an engineer by trade. And so he's like, well, there's people that do it, back in my home. And I said, okay, well, look, I tell you what, because I honestly don't have the capacity. I said, but if you go do the research, you go study, you learn, bring back what you're learning, let's talk about it, discuss it. If I feel like, okay, it's something I want to be a part of, then yes. If not, but I'll support you either way, right?
Either way, yeah.
So he did that, started the venture, and he started, doing the brown breaking and everything, and just kept riding very, very hard with it. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I see you serious about this, and I see that you're putting in the work, so now I can trust. And I said, okay, I'll come in and help you with this part of it, right? And so I started helping him with getting the word out, right? Learning how to do it with social media, learning how to partner yourself with the right folks and things of that nature. Wow. And I just saw him continue to be very serious about it. And so I got, a pride, and I said, okay, great. So we talked about forming this partnership. And then next thing I know, we start talking about mead. Yeah. And I was like, oh, bro, hold up. I said, can we get this honey business, solid first before we go to mead? But then we started going to all these meaderies and meeting people who manufacture and make mead. We started sitting with these business owners. They started showing us the process. We started doing tastings in different parts of L.A. at different meaderies, because mead is bigger And all mead is for the listeners is honey wine, right?
Yeah.
It's wine.
Good question, because I was about to ask
right.
that. I need to know.
Very much bigger on the West Coast, getting big here, and I've actually identified I think 3 meaderies that are in the Houston area.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm actually reaching out to them now to just kind of figure out their process, how they're doing it. But basically, it's honey and water, basically, right? Fermented. And it's healthy, very healthy, you know.
Okay.
So,
and what is it called again?
it's called it's called honey wine, but AKA mead. So
Mead,
you'll hear
mead.
and
I've
they have,
heard
like,
mead
you have
before,
breweries,
yeah.
you have meaderies, right?
Yeah.
Well, all they have is that, and the honey really makes the difference, right, of that. So it depends on the type of honey you have. The honey is going to kind of do a lot as far as the taste goes of mead. So you have to know what you're targeting, like what type of mead you're targeting. So but to rewind, now we come into this thing and decide, okay, well, let's try this mead thing, and we found some folks to do it, and then fell in love, and so actually just recently, we've been focusing more on the actual meat, and it's been a journey. Trust me, it's been a journey up and down because it's anything new that you're learning and you're coming to that realm. It's a lot, and you got to make a lot of mistakes, which is great, I say, because now you're gaining opportunity for wisdom to know what works, what doesn't work. But we've been really blessed with a lot of great people to partner with, especially our distributor. Shout out to them, Golden Coast Meadery in Oceanside. They're very serious about it. They're well respected, and they're also, what we love is about regenerative. They're about making sure, like what our mission was always, even with the honey, is making sure that we do this. We're going to use people from their place.
Okay.
We're going to, like some of his family members are leading this thing on the ground. We're paying them. They're getting 100% of their asking price. Everything is fair trade. There is no exploiting, because that goes against everything we believe in, right? And so for us, that feels great, and we want to continue that process. And now moving in the Houston area, in the Texas area, it's been really cool because we realize, we're educating a lot of folks on it.
That's going to be really big
about it, and it's an amazing product. It is a really amazing product. And for those people who can't drink wine because they say, I get headaches, because the sulfites are in it, you don't have to worry about that with the mead, right?
And that was going to be my question, because when you talked about some of the healthier aspects of it being a honey wine,
right?
Like I said, like Larry just mentioned, you're educating the both of us,
right?
And those health benefits is something I think would be a major selling point, especially for those who, like you said before, just can't drink wine. And it's funny because it's so often you hear about red wines or something that you can have every night and that type of thing. But for those who can't have red wine, it's like they're on the outside looking in, but now they have options. So I think that's super cool.
And that's so important. And for you hear honey wine, so you think, it's sweet.
Yeah.
Now, if you're like me, I'm just not the guy. I don't like sweet wines. I think those are for kids. Sorry if I offend you. And I don't like that. But it is not that way, right? Now, you're going to have an element of some sweet just because you're dealing with honey. Yeah. But I'll tell you, you can have, just like regular wines, you can have a wet taste. You can have a very dry taste. It is about the whole process. And for us, we wanted something that men would love, right? And men tend to love that ale, kind of like where they almost feel like they're drinking a beer. Yeah. But then also what women would love. Yeah. So we kind of went with a blend of like a Chardonnay/ale.
I was wondering, how's the texture of it? Is honey wine, does it have the same texture, I guess, of a regular glass of wine, a bottle of wine?
You know what? It's interesting. In my opinion, it's in between.
Okay.
It's really in between. Because and I like it better. You can drink it, chilled or not. I like it chilled though.
Okay, I was going to ask that as well.
It does it's okay, Pat. It's going to do the same effect. Trust me. And one thing I know about it, like ours is roughly about 12%, but you have about 2 glasses. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what you're used to drinking.
12% right there.
Right.
12%.
Yeah, you have about 2 glasses. So if you're not used to drinking wine or anything like that, you don't want to do 2 glasses. I'm telling you, because you'll start feeling it after one. But that second glass. Now the cool thing about this is, and if you go research this, there's tons of research and arguments about this, because basically mead is the argument is that is actually what they were drinking.
Yeah, because I hear it in those classic movies. You'll hear them say, "Get the mead," not the caveman, but the Vikings.
Absolutely,
talking about
and even
mead.
before then, right? So I mean, there's so many arguments on it. I mean, and literally, what is the mother civilization? Africa, and they have a major there's so much research that showed that actually is where it started, which would make sense in the beginning, since that's the beginning of civilization, right? Okay, so I'm telling you, man, it is such a cool journey because we learn so much. We meet some of the coolest people, and there's so many people that are so deep in it, which is what we're loving too. But I just love that you're bringing something that has a health aspect to it, that has some history to it, and you're offering variety to folks, right? But it's been here for like all along.
Wow.
Right? But you had people that were just behind the scenes making their own and doing it, and it just kind of but now I feel like it's coming back into that market to where now you're seeing actual meaderies, like you have breweries, which you know was not the case at one point.
The case.
Yeah.
Now, one of the cool things, and like I said, I'm taking notes right now, getting so much of a great education on meads. As far as pairing it with food and different meals, what type of day, what type of meal is this? A dinner thing? Is it a brunch thing? In your experience,
in my experience, and I'm honestly, I'm not just saying this because we have meat. I'm being very authentic with you guys.
You're right.
You can have it with any food, breakfast, lunch, because it is a mead. It's like a wine. It's like a beer.
Yeah.
It's like, it's good on a hot day if you have it chilled, and it's sensitive. So you can't have that's a mistake some people make. Just like wine, though, this is why it's a honey wine. You have to make sure the temperature is controlled, how you're saving it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because trust me, I don't care how you have it propped, and I have some stories, and somebody might be listening right now because they're one of the people. But where if you just let it sit and you don't control the temperature, and it gets too hot, that cork literally that's never been opened will come out.
Wow.
If you don't have a wire or something, it's going to come out. And you're going to have honey wine all over the place. I don't care if it's in your car or whatever. So it's very delicate and very sensitive, and that's why most meads are really expensive. I mean, you have bottles up. I mean, there's some that you can find for about maybe $16, $20, but you get them all the way up to $80 and things like that because of the process that it takes. Now we feel like we have a great price point because we have ours at $40, and we sell it to friends and families for $30, and so we love that. And if we do festivals and things, we even bring it down a little bit more, for the community. But because we want everyone to have, we're big on pushing that into the industry and getting that out there again as a mainstream choice as far as drink goes.
Wow.
You've done an outstanding job of not only introducing the brand, but also educating our audience as far as what a mead is, how it is best served, that type of thing. So please share with our audience website.
Oh, absolutely.
And how they could go about ordering some bottles of NOOMA fine honey wine right now currently.
You can get the NOOMA honey wine for all the listeners and viewers at NOOMA, that is NOOMA honey.com. So NOOMAhoney.com, go there, order, and it will be shipped to whatever address you put that into, right? So support. If you're if you're outside the U.S., we can't help you right now because we're only doing domestic. But eventually we do have talks about international because we would love to make sure that it's getting back to El Salvador, the land that the honey is being produced in. And we want to do things legit. We don't want to smuggle and do all that stuff. But we would love those folks to be able to, because they're the ones doing the work. And we appreciate them so much.
And I thank you so much for introducing our audience to your guys' brand and the wines that you guys are creating. When we come back from our break, Kenny, what I want to talk to you about is, because we see how you move online, how you can start these business ventures, how you work with your business partners and can go from an idea to a finished product and bring it to market. One of the things that I would like for you to touch on when we come back, if you don't mind, is how you as a business person navigate business partnerships.
Got it. Oh,
because Larry and I have had, we've talked about business partnerships on the podcast before, but someone like yourself, if you could share a little bit of your experience with the audience, that would be outstanding, because I think you touched on some of the things that you hold as very important when you're deciding who you want to partner with. But I want to give you a little time to go more in depth into the thought process
I would love
behind
that. Yeah, we bring a little life coaching in this.
Exactly.
I love that. Come on.
Thank you so much. Everyone, stay tuned to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast, because we're going to take a short break to hear from our sponsors.
All right.
I'm serial entrepreneur Larry W. Brooks, and I'd like to personally invite you to take a closer look at the Pure Hustle clothing brand, along with several books that I've authored to take entrepreneurs, small business owners to the next level of their business. So please take a look at shoplwb.com. How do you survive?
Rent to own is not a myth. Turn your rental payment into a down payment with Divvy Homes and the Prime Real Estate Network. All you need to qualify is a 550 minimum FICO score and $40,000 in annual income. If you've worked your current job for at least the last 6 months and you can prove that you have $2,000 in the bank, your dream of home ownership can become a reality. Please direct message, call, or email the Prime Real Estate Network today and learn more about this exciting new program. Welcome back to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, you can do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate, visit our website at brooksanddavis.com. As always, my co-host is the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. LarryWBrooks. How you doing, brother?
Hey, no complaints, man. I'm loving the show. I'm learning because it's crazy because I watch the shows like Viking, Troy, and in those movies, if you ever watch them, all they ever say is need. Like
Game of Thrones, too. Now that you say that on the Game of Thrones.
They throw it around all the time. And at the time, you're listening to it, and I'm just thinking it's something that was ancient and during that time period, not knowing that it actually ties to something that's still a necessity that people use today.
I know, it's super cool. I know we're getting ready to close out of Facebook, Larry. I know you want to do your shouts out. Give a shout out to our Patreon page as well.
Yeah, shout out to everyone that supported the Patreon page. We want to let you know we appreciate you. Everyone that has subscribed to the YouTube page, continue to follow, subscribe to the YouTube page. Take a look at the screen. Take a picture of the QR code. Like, follow, come and take a look at some of the videos that we have there for you. But for our Facebook friends, we appreciate you, and we're closing out. So catch the second half of the show on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Appreciate you, Larry.
Appreciate you.
This week's guest is a social activist, entrepreneur, and the chief operating officer of NOOMA Honey and NOOMA Honey Wines, Mr. Kenny Henry. Thank you so much, sir, for sitting in with us this week.
My pleasure, brother. My pleasure.
When we took our break, I talked to you a little bit about business partnerships.
Right.
And in the first segment, you talked about some of the things that you keep in mind when you're deciding on what type of business ventures to pursue and those type of individuals and entrepreneurs to partner with.
Yep.
And I think that's so important because there are so many members of our audience that have great ideas or have members of their inner circle with great ideas, but they just can't bring a great idea to market and bring a dream to fruition. So is there anything that you can advise with your experience as far as business partnerships and how to decide which business people and entrepreneurs to partner with?
Absolutely. So, first I will have to say this disclaimer, I'm also a certified life coach since 2015. So for me, there's a lot of things I've learned, education-wise, but then just in life. I think that, you don't have to be a life coach to have discernment and to utilize wisdom.
Right.
You have to think about, like, if you're going to partner yourself with someone or an entity, first of all, who are you, right? Uh-huh. Who are you as a person? What is your values? What is your standards? Well, none of us are perfect. Not one perfect. We have bad moments. We do dumb things sometimes. We make bad decisions because we don't know. We're always growing and learning, right? Mm-hmm. And we're healing too, which a lot of people forget about that. So when I look at people, first of all, I'm not going into a business with somebody I don't have a close relationship with, that I feel like, okay, I kind of feel like I know this person now. And I mean, when I say that, I know the weaknesses of them. I know their strengths too. Mm-hmm. And I can work with that, right? I feel like it's safe. Now, there's times when, in my life, I have, been with someone or joined formed a partnership, but then you find a little later, this is not going to work, right? Because now their growing pains, that trauma from their past is starting to show up or whatever, right? Where we have to part, right? And I have to make the decision, right? Or vice versa. And so I think that you just need to know as a person who you are, what your standards and your values are, because it's a marriage. When you partner with someone in business, that is a marriage, okay? Just a healthy marriage, shall I say, right? Not a marriage where the man is dominating the woman or she's dominating him. They don't have a teamwork. They don't have a partnership. I'm talking about a healthy marriage where we make decisions based together, where I'm using your wisdom and strength, right? Your resources, you're using mine. We come together to make a best educated guess success to say, how do we reach the goal that we want? Right? So that is very imperative that you think about that before aligning yourself with someone, right? Even think about, okay, what do they give their energy to outside of this, right? And maybe it's a smart person. Maybe it's a very good-hearted person, but they just have a lot going on in life right now. You have to be honest about that. Yeah, they're smart. I think they could kill this business, but they have so much going on right now that, in my opinion, is more of a priority that they need to get that together first, because it is going to affect business, right? And I think the other key is you have to know personal and business is separate. And then you have to now look at someone's maturity level and their emotional maturity to see, can they do that, right? Have you been around them long enough to see, are they able to disconnect? Because like I can have and anyone knows this that's close to me, especially business partner, we can have a knockdown, drag out fight, argument, whatever it takes when it's coming down to business, right? But it's business. Right after that, okay, so what do you want to do? You want to go catch the happy hour, whatever, or what about, that's it. This is not personal. We're not keeping it. It's business because we have a common goal. I want you to kick my butt like I'm kicking yours because we're not in this for fun. This is serious, right?
Right.
But then there are some people that can't handle that. So you get into an argument or a disagreement because of business, and then they are hurt for weeks behind it, right? And so it's like, no, it's now we can talk about it if you're hurt. Come on, let's try to, I didn't mean to, and I'm always going to be the one to apologize if I feel I've wronged you. But if I feel strong in my stance, I'm not going to apologize for my stance, right?
Right.
My goal is that we're on the same team and I want us to roll. But then there's some people that are not emotionally healthy. And you have to look at that. Then you got to look at those who like to attach themselves to titles and names, right?
Oh, wow.
Those folks. Because you have people that just want to be around people because they're, in their eyes, somebody, right? And so, to me, those are not that you can't trust that, because they're not really going to be about the mission. They don't understand that. They're about titles. They're about, oh, I'm somebody because they're rolling with me, instead of doing the work to create something that speaks for itself. Right. So, I can go on and on about that kind of stuff because I have a lot of experience with it, but I feel a lot of passion because I see a lot of good people get messed up, and then they get in these relationships with folks, these partnerships, and they don't know how to let it go.
Wow.
And they're feeling this pain, this lack of peace, but they don't know how to let this in this business relationship, right?
Right.
Because, we won't be friends, or they'll be mad at me. Hey, it's business. And at the end of the day, your peace is the most important thing. You have to protect it at all costs. So if this thing is no longer, if it's robbing you of your peace, you need to let it go.
Absolutely. Now, as far as your life coaching, I know you, and I've known you for a while, and I'm sure some of the people you speak to can talk to you about aspects of their life that they're trying to improve that are a lot more important than business relationships. Some people may have chemical dependencies. People may have emotional issues. Traumas. Exactly. Yeah. But do you offer life coaching with a business perspective for just those entrepreneurs to talk to you about things like that? Yep. So please talk to them how they can reach out to you for just business life coaching.
Right. Absolutely. Do it all the time. Actually, I have folks now. So my life coaching is, it is very, very broad.
Okay.
So I have traumatic brain injury clients from severe, where they need, literally, I'm working with the families and all that, to those who are high functioning, they live on their own, they drive, they're in school, they have jobs. I have college graduates. I have recent divorced folks, people reinventing their lives. So it's basically the same thing. My goal is I do what a lot of our life coaches do in the industry, this thing called Wheel of Life.
Wow.
And we go ahead, and with that wheel, there's different segments. It's like a pie. Visualize a pizza, right? And it has different slices. So each slice is so it's relational, right? Finances, business, physical health. So we basically in that pie, I design that pie with the client. And so we will go for whatever thing that they think is more important in their life right now. Like right now, hey, I'm having a hard time with relationships. Right now, it's my weight. Right now, it is, figuring out how to forgive folks and move forward. Right now, it's like, look, I lost my job. I'm tired of working for folks. I want to start a business. But I don't know where to go. I don't know what that business should look like.
Right.
So we design that by the client, and then what I have them do is rate themselves, or where you're at right now. 10, right? Neat. 10 being the highest, right? 1 being the lowest. And then what we do is we decide what things we're going to work on first. And I do measurable outcomes where we'll work together. Every 3 months, we'll go back.
And we've talked about this on the show before in some of your previous visits, and I urge everyone, go back and see the times that the King Konnector, Mr. Kenny Henry, has sat in previously on the Prime Real Estate Network podcast, because those interviews have been just as enlightening as he's been today, and I want to thank you so much. Please, I urge everyone, follow Kenny at King Konnector Show.
The King Konnector Show.
Absolutely.
Connectors with a K, guys. Connectors with a K.
Please remind them, man.
And I just took it off private today. I always had it on private. I just took it off my account on private. Because and let me speak to this.
It's breaking news.
Because I'm serious. I'm one of those people where I like people that are genuine. Okay?
Right.
And I know there's haters out there. You're going to have haters. If you're smiling and you're happy today, somebody's going to hate you because, it's not about
brother,
you.
you don't
it's
even
where they're
have
at.
to explain,
right?
brother.
And
We're
so
with you,
I
man.
try to do that because I'm the type of person where, I don't judge no one, bro. That's how I am. Like, anyone knows that about me. I will be with you at your lowest point, and if you're ready to, like, get it together and because I get it. Right, but I also want those same relationships for me, and all these people, 1 million followers, such and such 1,000 followers, or whatever. What does that mean? Look at their engagement. Okay, they look how many 100 likes, and you got all these followers. But
brother,
so who's really
brother? The work
with you?
you're doing, the work that you have been doing in the community, in California, here in Houston, since you relocated, man, doesn't even have to be explained. Those that understand and those that see understands the work you're putting in. So thank you so much for doing that, and thank you for making your page public. I want to make sure, because I want to make sure I invite everyone that can hear the sound of my voice today. Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm is hosting a happy hour from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. today, man.
Why didn't I know? See, I could have had some meat for that, bro.
Hey, look, you can show your face today, and that'll be enough.
That'd be a great closing gift moving forward.
Come on, stop playing games. So we definitely going to be sharing all that information for today's happy hour on my Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick, at Larry's Instagram at the Texas Real Estate King. I want to invite everyone out. We're having a great time tonight at this happy hour. Larry, what else we got going on this weekend in the world of the Texas Real Estate King and Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm?
Wait, let me let you.
Hey, you know what? You said the most of it just then. I think the most important thing for those that are always reaching out about connecting, are always trying to find a way to an end with when it comes to dealing with realtors and just maybe being an inspector for them, being a loan officer for them. Come on out tonight. Come network, put some FaceTime with it. It's a great way to organically meet my team.
Absolutely. On behalf of myself, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, the Texas Real Estate King, I want to thank everyone for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. As always, if you need anything in the meantime or the in-between time, we're just a text, DM, or inbox message away. On behalf of everyone at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, until next Thursday, be blessed.
Be blessed.
Thank you.